Good morning, all. This is Jack from Charting Markets, and this is the pre-market webinar for the morning of Friday, the 13th of February. My disclaimer: I do this for educational purposes only. I'm here to share my technical analysis with you. I hope you can take some of what I'm doing, learn from it, transfer it to your own charts. I'm not here to issue trading signals. Right. Every so often, we get a confluence of buy signals which suggest very, very strongly that we're about to see an update today. And we've seen, or that we're going to see a down day. Now, we saw a fairly stiff decline yesterday. This didn't make a lower low, and I don't think it's going to, because we had weak buy signals fixed on ES, RTY, and or was it NQ? No, ES, NQ, and YM yesterday. And today, having gone a little lower, this is a full-size 60-minute buy signal brewing on RTY, full-size 60-minute buy signal trying to fix on ES and NQ and YM. Well, possible 60-minute buy signal brewing there too. So we've got a lot of buy signals here. They haven't quite fixed yet. We'll find out within 14 minutes whether they're going to fix now, but I think the odds of that are actually pretty good. And generally speaking, this is going to lead to a strong rise, and my bet would be that we would get up to at least the 69.70 area, and very possibly break up and start looking as though we're going to challenge the all-time high. We shall see. But I'm really liking this setup. That's a lot of positive divergence. I'm liking the little. I've got very small little double bottoms around here, and they're nice. They're too small really to mark in on this scale chart, but it's a very good setup for a day. And generally speaking, unless we get some really bad news, today would be an up day. We will see how that goes. In terms of DAX. Bit of a pullback here, trying to hold the monthly pivot. So far, it's holding. ESTX, we've got a weak 6-minute buy signal fixed. If we go any lower, we could lose that. And this is always going to be a weak 60-minute buy signal, because we really didn't get much below the 30 level. But nonetheless, we've got a buy signal there too. So that would be 5 out of 6, which is a lot. We shall see how this goes, but generally speaking, this would be a pretty safe bet for a decent move up that on ES from here should be at least 100 points. We will see whether we get that. All right, great. Let's have a look at the bigger picture chart. And right, SPX broke back below the daily middle band yesterday and got back all the way to the daily lower band. I'm watching to see whether that gets rejected today, but at the very least, I'm liking I'm liking a move up to 69.19 to the daily middle band, and maybe a bit higher for today. So I would like to see the back test from below. In terms of the hourly chart, no current divergence. A little bit actually on the RSI 5. So we have got a possible RSI 5 buy signal brewing on the hourly, and we've got buy signal on the RSI 14 brewing on the 15-minute. All right, looking at the Qs again, we were basically back testing the daily middle band already, and we've made it back to the daily lower band. On the hourly chart, we've got a little RSI 5 buy signal brewing, and RSI 14 one brewing on the 15-minute chart. Again, this is the kind of thing. These are the kind of things I like to see at lows. All right, diet. Now this is an interesting one. Of course, this has got back to the daily middle band and it's testing as support. But of course, I was saying yesterday morning that, and the morning before, I think, but no, not the morning before, I had to doubt, but that we had hit the wedge resistance here and it held perfectly. So next obvious target would be wedge support, and I've got that down in the 489 area, and we don't need to hit that immediately. And I'm thinking we're going to see a rally here, but I'm thinking we're pretty good to hit that early to middle of next week. In terms of the hourly chart, a little bit of RSI 5 divergence, maybe. Actually, I don't think we did. We'll see whether we get some this morning. And on the 15-minute chart, oh no, we did get it. So we've got an RSI 5 buy signal brewing on the hourly, and we've got a possible RSI 14 buy signal brewing on the 15-minute. Okay, let's have a look at IWM. And IWM, looking at the daily chart. All right, this broke back below the daily middle band. We got pretty close to the daily lower band as well. No divergence on the daily chart on the 15-minute. Do we have any divergence on the 15? Not quite, no. But if we retest the low this morning, and we might, then we may well get that. Looking at DAX, obviously weekday, but didn't break below the daily middle band. And Nikkei, we saw a consolidation day after a series of fairly strong days after the Japanese election. So nothing changing on the big picture, and actually we've been seeing these sharp declines pretty regularly. This has been rather spiky. I don't think it really changes a great deal, although if we were to, let's say, go down today and make it down below the this low at 750, that would start to look more serious. All right, let's have a look at DX. DX is forming what looks like a little short-term bear flag. 60-minute bicycle has reached the possible near miss target. Not an awful lot to see on these. This could again be a bull flag on EURUSD, again on GBP USD. Here, I'm wondering whether we're going to see a retest of this low. But this looks like it could be an ABC flag. We're seeing quite a lot of these this morning, particularly on the commodities. Australian dollar retested the high. NZ looks as though it should retest the high, but again, I'm wondering about ABC flag. As I said, we've got a few of those this morning. All right, let's have a look at ZB. Now, ZB, this is a really interesting one because we had a head and shoulders which broke down here, and that head and shoulders failed yesterday, somewhat to my surprise. So I've been working on the bigger picture on bonds, being that we've got a sizable downtrend coming. This was one of the big patterns, and we lost it yesterday. And it looks as though it's heading back up into the retest of this high. This could set up a double top. We do have a possible 60-minute sell signal brewing here. Sorry, since I capped this chart earlier and changed the annotations, obviously it's made a higher high. I'm leaning towards seeing, at this point, a retest this high here in the 118 area. Looking at ZN, again, we've got a double top here, so it won't fail in the same way, but it's now more likely that it is failing. Keeping an open mind, no targets to the upside particularly, but again, we may see the retest of this high here from late November. Yep. Okay, let's have a look at CL, where we've got a possible 60-minute buy signal brewing, and it looks like we are forming a bullish triangle. On HO, kind of looks like a bullish triangle as well. No current positive divergence. On RBOB, little double top broke down and made target. Could be forming a head and shoulders here, but we've got a possible weak 60-minute buy signal brewing, and that's actually trying to fix at the moment, and it may fix in 8 minutes. All right, looking at NG. NG, we've got a very nice looking potential level bottom, which might play out. On GC, this looks like a double bottom, but it isn't. My data's been buggy on the metals this week. On SI, could be a bear flag forming. Palladium could be a bear flag forming. Platinum could be a bear flag forming. HG, got a possible 60-minute buy signal brewing here, and this could be, again, it could be ABC. We are seeing a lot of potential flags today. All right, looking at KC. On KC, the 60-minute buy signal has reached the possible near miss target. On SB, little bit of a rally here, no divergence. CC hasn't broken over this declining resistance trend line, but I'm wondering whether it might, and I'm wondering whether we might have an alternative trend line to that one, which might, I'll play around with that later, but I am wondering whether we're going to break up directly. Looking at, for likely just a rally, but I would say now we've got a possible 60-minute buy signal brewing as well. On CT, CT looks like this could well be a flag which is breaking down towards the retest of the low, and may go lower from there. I'll have more to say about that on the bigger picture webinar on Sunday. Looking at lumber, just trading sideways. I think this may mean that the overall downtrend is coming back, and the next move will probably be back towards a retest of these lows here in about the 55350 area. On ZW, we've got a double bottom which has broke up and it raid target yesterday. We had a sell signal only a week one, and that failed yesterday. Pretty strong action. We'll see how that goes. On corn, this still looks like a bear flag forming or possibly breaking down. On soy, nice looking little double top here. 60-minute sell signal is fixed without it, and has got most of the way to the target without actually moving down much. It doesn't need to break down from the double top, but it needs to show a bit more enthusiasm than it's going to. On ZL, still continuing higher. Live cattle, we have potential topping action without anything that actually looks specifically like a topping pattern, and HE we broke down below the rising channel, and we have seen a significant retracement, which is almost 50%. No current positive divergence, but I'm thinking we might set some up on a little decline lower. We shall see. All right, great. Let's have a look at the potential signals which are brewing here. It's 8:55, almost 8:56. This looks as though this is going to have a full sell signal, buy signal, fixed in 4 minutes on ES and in Q and RTY and YM. In the CL, we've also got what looks like it's going to be a buy signal, but we're not as close to it fixing, but we may well fix that in 4 minutes as well. I'm leaning towards seeing a bullish day. We'll see how it goes. All right, everyone have a great weekend. Everyone take care, and I'll see you on the other side. All right, cheers.